נ"ו עמוד ב' 4 line from the top. שאל דמה בן אחותו של רבי ישמעאל את רבי ישמעאל, ראיתי שני לחיי שנשרו, I see both of my jaws were open, אמר שני גדודי רומי יעצו עליך רעב, ומתו, two people from Rome plotted against you, but they died. אמר לבר כפרה לרבי, ראיתי חותמי שנשאר, I see my nose fell off in my dream, אמר לי, חרון אף נסתלק ממך, the divine anger of Hashem left you. אמר לי, ראיתי שני ידיי שנחתכו, I see two of my hands were cut off in my dream, אמר לי, לא תצטרך למעשה ידיך. You're not going to need to use your hands, you're going to make so much money that you don't need to work with your hands anymore. אמר לי, ראיתי שתי רגליי שנקטעו, I see both my legs in my dreams were cut off. אמר לי, על סוס אתה רוכב, don't worry, you're going to make so much money that you don't even need to walk anymore, you're going to always ride a horse everywhere. חזאי דאמרי לי באדר מיתת וניסן לא חזית. I saw in my dream that in Adar he said that he's going to die and he's not going to see the month of Nisan. אמר לי, don't worry, בהדרותה מיתת, you're going to die with מיתות בהדרותה, which is בכבוד גדול, ולא עתית לידי ניסיון. So he took the words of Adar וניסן and he said, don't worry, בהדרותה תמות, you're going to die with great honor, It doesn't mean you're going to not see the month of Nisan, it means that you're going to die bli nisayon, you're not going to have any hardships, any nisyonot in your life. Amar le'ahu tzduki Rabbi Yishmael. So we see here that everything goes achar hapeh. We're going on that concept that whatever you interpret for somebody is the outcome of the dream. Amar le'ahu tzduki Rabbi Yishmael, raiti shani mashke shemen lezetim. I see that I'm pouring I'm pouring olive oil back into the olives. In my dream, אמר לה, בעלימו, you came on your mother. למה? כי האמא זה כמו העולב, מה יוצא ממנה? שמן זית. אז אם הוא מוזג את השמן זית בחזרה, if you're pouring the olive oil back into the olive, it means that you slept with your mother. אמר לה, חזאי דקטיף לי כוכב, I see that I took a star. אמר לה, בר ישראל גנבת, you kidnapped a Jew. אמר לי, חזאי דבלעתי לכוכב, I see that I ate the star. אמר לי, בר ישראל זבנתי, you sold him, ואכלת לדמי, and you used the money that you sold him to eat. אמר לי, חזאי עיניי דנשכן, הדדי, I see that my eyes are kissing each other, meaning they're very close to each other. אמר לי, בעל אחותו, you slept with your sister. אמר לי, חזאי דנשקי סיירה. אמר לי, בעל אשת ישראל.
He kissed the moon.
Yeah, he kissed the moon. He said that you came on a married woman. Why? Because we see that by the dream of Yosef, he referred 12 kochavim והשמש והירח. הירח is referring to his mom in the dream. So we see a moon in a dream refers to a married woman, and here it says the guy kissed the moon. So here it means that you slept with a married woman.
So tell me, all these guys who come, Shalim Larav, my dream, this is what they tell him?
This is a tzduki. This is a guy that's לא מאמין.
He only believes in the Torah that's written.
And גם זה הוא בקושי מאמין. הוא חצי רשע. אמר לי חזאי דדרכינה בתונה דאיסה. I see myself walking in a shade of this type of wood. אמר לבעל נערה המאורסה. You came on a engaged woman. אמר לחזאי תונה נהיגאי והוא מיתתאי. I see a shade above me and below me. אמר למשכבו הפוך. You slept with the woman backwards, meaning you were on the bottom and she was on the top. אמר לחזאי אורווה דהדרי דפוריה. I see ravens coming to my bed. אמר לאשתך זנתה מאנשים הרבה. Your wife slept with many men. אמר לי חזאי יוני דהדרי לפוריה, I see pigeons coming to my bed. אמר לי נשים הרבה תימתה. אמר לי חזאי דנקי תראה יוני ופרחן, I saw in my dream that I took two pigeons and I flew them away, I told them leave. אמר לי תרתי נשי נסבת, you married two women ופתרנן בלא get, and you sent them away with no get, meaning you divorced them and you didn't give both of them a get. אמר לי חזאי דקליפנה די, I saw myself in my dream peeling eggs. אמר לי, שכבוקה משלחת, you take from the dead corpses. אמר לי, כולון יתנו ביבר, מהה דלייטי. Everything you said about me was true, except this one that I steal from. So everything that you said, sleeping with my sister and all that is true, except he said this one, that I steal from the dead people. Adachi ve'achi, meanwhile, as he was saying that, Ate ha'itata, some lady came, ve'amra lei, ahai glima de gavra plonihu, demit ve'ashlachtei. That garment that you're wearing is from Ploni who died, and you stole it from him. So don't tell me that you don't steal from dead corpse, because that garment you're wearing is from a dead guy we saw him die with that, and he was wearing that, and you stole it from him. Amar le chazai damri li sheva klecha avuch nechase bekapudia. People in my dream told me that my father left me money in Kapudia. Amar le itlach nechase bekapudia. Do you really have Nechasim, money in Kapudia? Amar le'lav, no, not that I know of. Azal avuch leKapudia. Did your dad ever go to this place, this city called Kapudkia? Amar le'lav, no, he never went there. Im ken, he told him, Kafa kshura dika asara. There's a beam that's 10 high, the 10th beam. Zir chazi kapa darish asara she'i melea zuzi. Go find it. And you're going to see that the 10th beam
in his father's tent, yeah.
In his father's, is going to have a lot of zuzim, coins. Azal ashkach shaya mila zuzi. He went and he found that the beam was filled with a lot of coins. Amar Rabbi Chanina haroe be'er b'chalom roe shalom, שנאמר, ויחפרו עבדי יצחק בנחל, וימצאו שם באר מים חיים. You see that over there, it's referring to shalom. Rabbi Natan אומר, מצא תורה, refers to finding Torah, שנאמר כי מוצאו מצא חיים. Somebody who finds it, finds חיים. וכתיב האחר, באר מים חיים. Rava Amar, חיים ממש. Rava says it's referring to חיים ממש. Amar Rabbi Chanan, שלוש שלומות הן. There's 3 things that signify peace in a dream. נהר, ציפור וגדרה. Nahar, a river, a tzipor, bird, v'gdera, and a pot. Nahar dechtiv, river, why? Because it's written in the pasuk, Hineni note elea kenahar shalom. The pasuk says like a river of shalom. Tzipor dechtiv ketziporim afot ken yagen Hashem tzevaot. So that Hashem will guard us like the birds. Gdera dechtiv, how do we know by gdera? Because the pasuk says, Hashem tishpot shalom lanu, Hashem judge us with shalom. Amar Rabbi Chanina ubagdera she'en ba basar shaninu. We're referring to a pot that has no meat. Upsharshu kasher basir ukebasar betoch kalechet. Some meat in this pot. Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi aroeh nahar b'chalom yashkim vayomar. Somebody who sees a river in his dream should say, Hineni noteh alea kenahar shalom kodem she'ekdimenu pasuk acher ki yavo kenahar tzar. So there's a pasuk that we said was good for a nahar. So he should think of that pasuk first before the pasuk of Ki yavo kenahar tzar, which is referring to distress will come, like the river. So that's a pasuk that refers to a river being bad. So you should always think of the good pasuk when it comes to a dream. Ha'roeh tzipor b'chalom yashkim vayomer ketziporim afot ken yagen. Nachon? Kodem she'ekdimenu pasuk acher ketzipor nodedet min hakaneh. Because there's another pasuk that refers to a bird being alone, wandering in its nest alone. So you should always refer to the first. You should always think of the first pasuk rather than the bad one. Aroeh kdera b'chalom yashkim vayomer Hashem tishpot shalom lanu. Hashem judge us with favor, with shalom. Kodem she'ekdimenu pasuk acher shafot hesir shafot, which is a bad pasuk. Aroeh anavim b'chalom yashkim vayomer ke'anavim במדבר, קודם שיקדמנו פסוק אחר, ענבימו ענבי ראש, that the grapes are bitter. So that's a pasuk referring to the grapes being bad. We should think of the good one. הרואה הר בחלום ישכים ויאמר, מה נאהבו על ההרים רגלי מבשר? קודם שיקדמנו פסוק אחר, על ההרים אשא בכי ונהי. That's a pasuk referring to הרים being bad. הרואה שופר בחלום, somebody who sees a shofar in his dream, ישכים ויאמר והיה ביום ההוא, יתקע בשופר גדול, in the days of Mashiach, when Mashiach comes, קודם שיקדמנו פסוק אחר, תקעו שופר בגבעה. That's referring to when Am Yisrael would go to war, they would hear a horn, they would hear a sound of a shofar when they would go to war. So you should think of the pasuk of Mashiach rather than Am Yisrael going to war. הרואה כלב בחלום ישכים ויאמר ולכל בני ישראל לא יחרץ, כלב לשונו. When Am Yisrael was leaving Mitzrayim, the dogs were silent for them. קודם שהקדימנו פסוק אחר, והכלבים עזי נפש, dogs are greedy. Meaning, so you should always think of the good pasuk. הרואה ארי בחלום, ישכים ויאמר. If you see a lion in your dream, you should say, אריה שואג מי לא יירא. The lion roars, who will not fear? Rather than the pasuk, קודם שהקדימנו פסוק אחר, עלה אריה מסבכו. Referring to a lone lion. הרואה תגלחת בחלום, ישכים ויאמר, somebody who sees himself shaving in his dream, says, ויגלח ויחלוף סמנותיו, referring to Yosef, that he cut his hair, he shaved and changed his clothing before he saw פרעה. קודם שהקדימנו פסוק אחר, כי אם גילחתי ושר ממני כוחי, by the שמשון הגיבור, when he shaved and he lost his power. So you should think of the good pasuk of Yosef rather than the one of Shimshon HaGibor. הרואה בר בחלום ישכים ויאמר, בר מים חיים, קודם שהקדימנו פסוק אחר, כי הכיר ביר מימי, which is referring to a bad pasuk. הרואה קנה בחלום, somebody who sees a reed in his dream, ישכים ויאמר, קנה רצוץ.
A reed.
A reed is like a tree, a plant.
It's like easy to break. It's easy to snap. So.
Whatever you ever see.
We write with what they write the Sefer Torah and the mezuzot and everything. That's a reed.
It's cloth, no?
No, but what they use to
the
pen.
כמו feather.
Yeah, it's made out of a reed. הרואה קנה בחלום ישכים.
פדר, הספרדים קנה. פעם היה.
הרואה קנה בחלום, so somebody who sees a reed in his dream, ישכים ויאמר קנה רצוץ לא יישבר. The reed will not break. It's very, it moves.
Like he was like something very gentle with him.
Nah?
Is it נוצר, like a feather?
No, it's like it grows like from the ground.
It's round and holy.
Yeah.
לא,
כמו שיש בסוכה, לא ראית בסוכות הבמבו הזה?
נו.
אז זה יותר קטנים. אותו דבר, קטן.
The Gemara in Ta'anit says they move a lot, they fly a lot, but they're very strong in the ground.
להוציא כאילו?
Yeah.
So the good pasuk is saying like it's something about being gentle. It won't break.
It's gentle, but it won't. So it says קודם שהקדימנו פסוק אחר, הנה בטחת על משענת קנה רצוץ.
something different.
אני יודע, אתה חושב על וויד, לא וויד, ריד.
לא, זה נראה כמו חיטה, אבל תסתכל.
Yeah, they're like stalks and they move a lot, but they're very strong in the ground. תנו רבנן, הרואה קנה בחלום, יצפה לחוכמה. Somebody who sees, you guys have the spot, somebody who sees a reed in his dream, should יצפה לחוכמה, should expect wisdom, hope for wisdom. Why? שנאמר, קנה חוכמה. And kana is like the word kane חוכמה, and it's like the same word. קנים יצפה לבינה, if he sees many reeds, not just one, he should expect understanding, בינה, שנאמר, ובכל קניניך, קנה בינה. And it says, with all your reeds, you're going to get wisdom. אמר רבי זרע, קרא, קורא, קרא is pumpkin, קורא is palm, is like some palm. What is it?
Like someone's palm or a palm tree.
Palm, yeah, something with palm I saw also. Kira is wax, vekanya is a reed. Kulu ma'alu lechalma. Any of those, a pumpkin, a reed, wax, or a palm, any of these things in a dream, ma'alu lechalma is good in a dream. It's a very good sign. Tanya, we see somewhere else in a braita, en marin dloin, we don't show somebody a pumpkin in a dream. Ela lamishu yireh shamayim bechol kocho. Somebody who is fully God-fearing will only see a pumpkin in his dream. So we see a pumpkin is also a good sign in a dream. Haroeh shor b'chalom, somebody who sees a bull in his dream. An ox, yeah. Yashkim vayomer bechor shoro hadar lo. Kodem she'akdimenu pasuk acher ki yigach shor et ish. Before the pasuk that the ox will gore a man. Tanu Rabbanan, 5 דברים נאמרו בשור. 5 things were said by an ox. האוכל מבשרו מתעשר, somebody who eats its meat will become rich. נוגחו, having לי בנים שמנגחים בתורה, somebody who sees in his dream that he was oxed, that he got gored by an ox. נכון? It hit him with his horns there. So it's a sign that he's going to have kids that are תלמידי חכמים שנוגחים בתורה. נוגחו, if he sees it bite him, יסורים באים עליו, then it's a bad sign. He's going to have יסורים come on him. Be'ato, if he sees the ox kicking him in a dream, derech rechukan nizdemna lo. He has a long journey ahead of him. Rochvo, and if he sees himself riding it, ole legdula, he's gonna raise up to greatness. Ve'atanya, how could you say that? Rochvo met. We saw somewhere else that the Braita says if you ride it, you're gonna die. So we said lo kasha.
We said that if you ride some, oh no, that was a horse.
So somewhere else, lo kasha. Haderachiv hu letura, that's when he's riding it. When he is riding it, when he's on top of it, it's a good sign. Haderachiv Torah ledidei, but when he sees it riding him, meaning it's on his back, not a good sign. Haroeh chamor bechalom yitzapeh leyeshua. Somebody who sees a chamor in his dream should expect Yeshua. Shenemar hine melachecha yavo lecha tzadik v'noshe hu ani v'rochev al chamor. It says that, meaning that if you see a donkey in your dream, you should expect Yeshua. Why? Because it means that Bezrat Hashem Mashiach is coming. Haroeh chatul b'chalom be'atra dekaru le shonra neset lo shira na. In a place, if he sees a cat in his dream and it's in a place where they call it shonra, they used to call it chatul shonra. In a place where he hears them call it shonra, meaning it's going to be a beautiful song for him. It's a good thing if they call it shonra, like shon. Aval shinra, but if he hears them in the dream calling the chatul shinra, ne'esa lo shinui ra, he's going to have a change for the bad. Meaning it's not a good sign. Haroeh anavim b'chalom levanot ben bezmanam ben shelo bezmanan yafot. If he sees white grapes in his dream, meaning like the green ones, those are considered white grapes? Because I've never seen actual white grapes.
The insides are white?
What?
The inside of the green grapes are white?
All of them are inside.
All of them are white.
Oh.
So if he sees white grapes, whether they're ripe, whether they're not ripe, it's always a good sign. Yafot. Shchorot bizmanyan yafot. If he sees black grapes in his dream, if they're in its time, it's a good thing. Shelo bizmanan raot. It's a bad sign if he sees unripe, unripe, and they're not good in season. Haroeh sus lavan b'chalom ben benachat ben berodef yafe lo. Whether it's walking slowly or whether it's galloping, it's a good sign. Adom benachat yafe. If he sees a red horse in his dream, if it's walking slowly, יפה, ברודף, galloping quickly, running, it's not a good sign. Haroeh Ishmael בחלום, תפילתו נשמעת. If he sees Ishmael in his dream, his tefillah will be answered. ודווקא Ishmael ben Avraham, and that's only if he sees Ishmael ben Avraham, the son of Avraham. אבל תהיה בעלמא, לא. But if you see some random Ishmael in your dream, Ishmael, but it's not Ishmael ben Avraham, then it's not a good sign.
מי יודע איך הוא נראה?
עתידה. הרואה גמל בחלום, מיטה נכנסה לו. If a person sees a camel בחלום, in his dream, מיטה נכנסה לו מן השמיים והצילו ממנה, and he was saved from it. So if a person sees a camel, he should know that in his dream that he was supposed to die, but in Shamayim they saved him. Amar Rabbi Chama berabbi Chanina, מה יקרא? What's the pasuk that proves that? ואנוכי ארד עמך מצרימה, I'm going to go down with you to מצרים, Hashem said, ואנוכי אלך גם עלה. It says, what's the last word? It says גם עלה. גם עלה is like, sounds like gamal.
Yeah.
So it says, I'll raise you. It's a play on words. So we see גם עלה, Hashem will raise you, meaning he'll save you from death. Rabbi Nachman bar Yitzchak amar me'achar. Rabbi Nachman says, no, from this pasuk I learned. גם השם העביר חטאתך לא תמות. So,
גם לא.
the pasuk starts with gam and ends lo tamut. So gam lo tamut. The first word in the pasuk says gam. Hashem hevi chatatcha, and it ends off and it says lo tamut. So gam la tamut. Gamal lo tamut. So because of that, it's a play on words also. We see that if a person sees that in his dream, he's not going to die. Haroeh Pinchas b'chalom pele ne'esa lo. If a person sees Pinchas that killed Zimri, a miracle will happen for him. Haroeh pil b'chalom. If a person sees an elephant in his dream, pleot ne'esu lo. He's going to see many miracles in his life. Pilim, if he sees many elephants, ple'e pleot ne'esu lo. Many miracles will happen for him. Ve'atanya, kol minei chayot yafim lachalom. All animals are good for dreams. Chutz min hapil u'min hakof. Except an elephant and a monkey. So we said, lo kasha, it's not a contradiction. Had the misareg, had the lo misareg. When it has a saddle, it's a good sign, meaning you can ride it and you can get on top of it. If it doesn't have a saddle and you see an elephant in a dream, it's a bad sign.
Haroeh saddle.
Ma? Saddle.
Oh, like an elephant.
What about the cough? Yeah.
Haroeh huna bechalom, nes ne'esa lo. If a person sees the words huna in his dream, he'll have a miracle. Chanina, Chananya, Yochanan, Naseh Nisim Nesulo. If he sees one of those words in his dream, he'll have many miracles. Haweh, Hesped, Bachalom, somebody who sees a eulogy in his dream, Mina Shamayim Chasu Aravu Padu. In Shamayim, they had mercy on him and they redeemed him, meaning he was supposed to also, but they had mercy on him in Shamayim. Vehanimiri Bektava, and that's only if you see these words written. So you have to see we said Yochanan. Yeah, you have to see these words in your dream written, not just hearing it. It's a good sign. You have to see it written. Amen.